Hi, how you doing? This is Kim Reads Urantia. Nice to see you. And today here we're going to read from the Urantia book, and we're going to read from Light the Flame by Andrew Harvey. This one was written by Andrew Harvey, July 9th, okay, inspired by Thomas Merton, who was a Trappist monk who lived in France from 1915, born in 1915, died in Thailand. But mostly I think he was in France. He was a French guy. Yeah. He died in 1968. Okay, at age, I suppose, 53. 52, 53, 53. Yeah, okay. All right. So it's kind of okay. So Thomas Merton, Andrew Harvey, inspired by Thomas Merton. I pray for the gift of silence, of emptiness and solitude, where everything I touch is turned into prayer, where the sky is my prayer, the birds are my prayer, the wind in the trees is my prayer, for you are all in all. Wow, that's really beautiful. Now remember, the Trappist monks, at least for a time, might still be they're committed to silence. They don't speak. Can you imagine? So when you're committed to a life of silence, then I suppose that you would rely increasingly on not just thoughts, but on all kinds of sensations and things to carry your prayers. Birds are my prayer. So, and I know Native Americans rely on the smoke from sacred herbs like cedar and sage to carry their prayers to heaven, the things that they can't say, they can't vocalize. Because sometimes it's really difficult to turn the longings of our hearts, of our souls, into words, and words are useless for this anyway, because they're always imperfect. They always imperfectly represent our deepest longings. So this idea of this is that these longings that come from deep within us are more perfectly embodied and embraced in the natural world or phenomena. The bird's song more correctly represents the prayers of my heart than my own words are able to do. The wind in the trees is my prayer. You are all in all of these things, and words are insufficient to carry these feelings to you. Okay, that's wonderful. All right, let's continue. Okay, we're talking about peripheral paradise. Okay, peripheral paradise is where all these perfected beings reside, in the outside of the Isle of Paradise, where again I've hypothesized, because this is both personal and non-personal. Okay, it's got to be somehow thicker or meatier on the outside than on the inside, which is purely spiritual, purely ethereal, And remember the nature of paradise here, the top side is personalized, the bottom side is unpersonalized. Okay. All right. So let's look here. Okay, the central aisle ends abruptly at the periphery, but its size is so enormous that its terminal angle is relatively indiscernible within any circumscribed area. Okay? The peripheral surface of paradise is occupied in part by the landing and dispatching fields for various groups of spirit personalities. Since the non-pervaded space zones nearly impinge upon the periphery, all personality transports destined to paradise land in these regions. Neither upper nor nether paradise is approachable by transport supernifem or other types of space travelers. Okay, so here again, I've hypothesized that the outside is thicker, but that's dashing that to heck because the terminal angle of paradise is indiscernible. So it's almost smooth instead of, I've imagined it to be very abrupt, like 90-degree angle, because it's thicker on the edges. Okay. So I don't know. So it ends abruptly at the periphery. So there's an end of it, but its size is so enormous that this terminal angle is relatively indiscernible within any circumscribed area. What's the terminal angle? The angle where it meets the land of paradise meets the not paradise is indiscernible. So that means it must be really thin on the outside. Okay. Okay, so that's where landings come and go there. Neither upper nor lower paradise is approachable by transport supernifem or other types of space travelers. Okay, so they have to all land on the periphery. So I'm thinking about a record now. Okay, so being both personal and non-personal at the same time has nothing apparently to do with how thick this record is, this oblong record is. Okay, maybe those two things blended together make it more thin physically. And I'm not, it's so weird, because this isn't really a physical thing, but I'm thinking, I can't help but thinking in physical dimensions, right? Because I have a physical brain, confound it, Okay, all right. Okay, let's keep going. The seven master spirits have their personal seats of power and authority on the 7 spheres of the spirit, which circle about paradise in the space between the shining orbs of the sun and the inner circuit of the Havona worlds. But they maintain force focal headquarters on the paradise periphery. Here, the slowly circulating presences of the 7 supreme power directors indicate the location of the 7 flash stations for certain paradise energies going forth to the 7 super universes. Okay, so wow. Okay, so there's 7 master spirits that are because there's the 3 spheres, there's the middle, the deity presence, which is 3 concentric circles itself, right? Then the most holy sphere, where there's a lot of mementos. Nobody lives there, but it's divided into concentric zones that have to do with each one for the each 7 super universes. And then outside of that, then there's the holy area. Okay. All right. The holy area is where the residences are. This place is huge, but it doesn't take up space. Okay, so outside of in between the Isle of Paradise and Havona, the rest of Havona, right, is the 7 master spirits have their personal seats of power and authority on 7 spheres of the spirit, which go around paradise. So there's between the Isle of Paradise and Havona, there's these 7 spheres. Okay. Which circle about paradise in the space between the shining orbs of the sun and the inner circuit of the Havona worlds. But the shining orbs of the sun the shining orbs of the sun. What are the shining orbs, plural, of the sun? Because, oh gosh. So, and why the sun? Why not the spirit? I think the spirit is associated with Havona. Okay. And the sun must be associated on the outside of the Father as a central presence. The sun around here. Okay, so then the 7 spheres of the spirit would circle about paradise in the space between the shining orbs of the sun and the inner circuit of the Havona world. But okay, so these 7 master spirits, of course, are the big bosses of each super universe. Okay, but they don't live at the capital of the super universe. They live here on between paradise and Havona. Okay. They maintain force focal headquarters on the paradise periphery. Okay, so they live outside, but they go to work. Their headquarters on the periphery of paradise, and they have their force focal work they do from there, and there they manage stuff about their super universes, their respective super universes. And here, the slowly circulating presences of the 7 supreme power directors indicate the location of the 7 flash stations. Okay, so they're working with the power directors. The 7 master spirits and the power directors work together to create, to manage the super universe affairs here through these 7 flash stations. For the paradise energies that go forth into 7 super universes. Okay, so they're doing that kind of in between on the periphery of paradise. Dang. God. Sorry. Okay. I'm just thinking this is really impressive, but I am trying to get a grip on it. Okay. The slowly circulating presences of the 7 supreme power directors. Okay. All right. So I'm going to keep going. All right. That's amazing stuff. I don't know. So there's such organization to it. It's symmetrical. It's balanced. It's yeah, beautiful, amazing, cohesive, cooperative, equilibrium, detailed organization. Okay. Here on peripheral paradise are the enormous historic and prophetic exhibit areas designed to the creator sons, dedicated to the local universes of time and space. There are just 7 trillion of these historic reservations now set up or in reserve, but these arrangements altogether occupy only about 4% of that portion of the peripheral area thus assigned. How can I even have these numerical values associated with it when there's actually no geometry involved in this, or it's like the essence of geometry or something? 4% of that portion of the peripheral area thus assigned. Okay, so 4%. So there are 7 trillion of these, but that's only 4% of what could be there, what there's room for. Because there's all these creator sons that are coming into being and who are working through their 7 phases of manifestation and such and such. Okay, all right. We infer that these vast reserves belong to creations sometime to be situated beyond the borders of the present known and inhabited 7 super universes. Right. So there's more stuff being created that this is what those are reserved for. So really, we're at the dawning point of creation, because only like this is all planned into being and it's all happening, but only 4% of creation has happened. Okay, that portion of paradise which has been designated for the use of the existing universes is occupied only from 1 to 4%. Right. While the area assigned to these activities is at least 1 million times that actually required for such purposes. So we've got huge places that they're just huge, but it doesn't take up any space. Paradise is large enough to accommodate the activities of an almost infinite creation. Almost infinite. Why not just infinite? Okay, but okay, irrelevant. Let's keep going. But a further attempt to visualize to you the glories of paradise would be futile. You must wait, and ascend while you wait. For truly eye has not seen, nor ear heard, neither has it entered into the mind of mortal man the things which the universal Father has prepared for those who survive the life in the flesh on the worlds of time and space. Wow. They've prepared all this stuff for us. Holy smokes. Okay. Man. Okay. I want to see it. Sounds unfathomable. Glorious. I don't know. Blows my mind every time this book does. All right. Okay, I'm going to let it go. Love you. And have a really wonderful day. Bye.